Hey y'all, it's Miss A. Today we're going to be looking at converting measurement units. So as you can see, like we'll be given 3 pounds and we're going to convert that into ounces. I do believe this is a skill that you should have done in 5th grade, at least briefly. So we're going to touch it pretty quick today, just with some basic conversions. Tomorrow we'll see them in the form of word problems like Starlight questions. But it's still just basic conversions. You just have to be able to read the question and know what you're converting to and from. So one thing you will need in order to do this is a reference chart. So in Canvas, I do have just this page snipped and placed at the bottom of our agenda, at the very, very bottom, like underneath the video. Also, there is a printable copy up towards the top in the agenda where it says, where there's a printable copy of the notes, like I've been doing, there's now a printable copy of the reference chart that actually gives you both sides. The formulas, which you don't need quite yet, but also the reference material here, that if you would like to go ahead and print it, you can do that. If you're here in person, y'all got one, obviously. All right, so let's get started. So this one says we're given 3 pounds and we want to convert it into ounces. So my two things that I'm converting between are pounds and ounces. So the very first thing you must do is go to your chart and determine how many pounds equal how many ounces. So if you go here, you see at the very bottom, it says 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So I'm going to write that down first so I don't forget it. 1 lb equals 16 ounces. So what we're going to do to solve these problems is we're actually going to set up proportions just like we've been doing for the past, 2 weeks. So, and I'm going to always start with this because I know both of my pieces. I can't put the 3 in the blank because that's an X, and I like to always put my known ratio first. So I'm going to put the 1 pound on top, so 1, like that so I can tell, 1 lb over 16 ounces. Now if I didn't put the abbreviations here, I would need to put them before, just like I always do. Y'all know I like to have words with my numbers, but I put that here with the numbers, so I'm good. Now the only number left is the number 3, and it's 3 pounds. So my pounds are on top, so I'm going to put the 3 pounds at the top. And I'm solving for that X. All right, so I have 1 pound, 16 ounces. I put my 3 pounds on top because pounds are on top. My X is on the bottom. Now all I have to do is cross multiply and then divide. But dividing by 1 is going to give me the same number, so really all I have to do is multiply. So 16 times 3 will get me my answer. 3 plus 1 is 4. So 48 ounces. So what's nice about this is we're always going to have the number 1 somewhere. So we're either going to multiply by 1 or we're going to end up dividing by 1. And dividing by 1 is what you want because you don't have to do anything. All right, let's look at number 2. This one has 16 quarts equal blank gallons. So we're converting between quarts and gallons. So we go to our chart. We find gallons and quarts here. They have to be in the same ratio. So here is 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. I'm going to write that down. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. It's okay that quarts was given to me first here and it was given to me second. As long as it's the same 2 words together, then we're good. All right, I'm going to start by putting that ratio 1 to 4. 1 equals 4. This time I'm not putting it with it anymore. So 1 gallon, I'm going to put gallon here. Quarts is here at the bottom. I'm doing that just so when I cross multiply and divide, I'm not having to circle words. I just want to circle the numbers. So 1 to 4, 1 gallon, 4 quarts, and then I have 16 quarts. Quarts are at the bottom, so I'm going to put 16 here at the bottom. All right, so everything on bottom is quarts, everything on top is gallons, and there's my X. So this time I have to cross multiply these two. So 16 times 1, that's easy, is 16. Now I'm going to divide by 4. So 16 divided by 4. I know that 4 goes into 16 4 times, which is exactly 16, and I am done. So 4, the X on top, we are solving for gallons. 4 gallons. All right, we'll do a couple more together, then I'm going to have y'all pause and do some on your own. So 24 inches equal blank feet. This is a conversion you hopefully know, but if you don't, it's right here at the top. We're going inches and feet. 1 foot equals 12 inches. So I'm going to write that down. 1 foot equals 12 inches. All right, sorry, I had to have someone come in. 1 foot equals 12 inches. So I'm going to begin by writing that as my fraction. So 1 and 12. Again, you can put the words with the numbers or you can put them in front. So 1 foot, 12 inches. And then we're going to put 24 inches. So inches are at the bottom. So I'm going to put 24 at the bottom. X is on top. Most important thing, guys, is make sure you put that last number in the correct spot. So if it helps you to put the words here, so you can make sure you do put, like if you were to put 24 inches and write inches, here you would see inches and feet were together. So it might be helpful for you to do that, to go ahead and just write them in. It's not that big of a deal. You don't have to write them in front. With the numbers is fine, because you have to make sure they match. If you got them in the wrong spot, you're most likely going to get the wrong answer. All right, so we're going to cross multiply these two now. 24 times 1 is 24, and then we're going to divide by 12. I know that 12 goes into 24 twice, and we are done. So 2 feet. All right, number 4, 3 miles equal blank yards. So we're going to go here, and we see that 1 mile equals, 1,760 yards. So we're going to write that down here. 1 mile equals 1,760 yards. All right, so I'm going to put that, and I'm going to put M for miles. You don't have to put everything. And then 1760, and then Y for yards. I'm doing it the other way just so you can see how it's a little bit easier. And then now we can match up the 3 miles. My miles are on top, so my 3M goes on the top. X goes at the bottom. So all I have to do here is cross multiply. Don't even need to divide because it's dividing by 1. 1760 times 3. I get 0. 18, carry the 1. 21 plus 1 makes 22. 3 plus 2 makes 5. So 5,280, and that was yards. So the biggest mistake that I see kids make on these problems is that they look at their chart and they see, oh, it's 1 equals 1,760 yards. I'm going to multiply. That's for sure what I'm going to do. But if they had given you yards here, you would have had to divide by the 1,760. So just make sure, if you set up the proportion, set it up correctly, just to ensure that you're doing it correctly. Because a lot of times I'll have kids on this one where I say, oh, it's 4, so I'm going to multiply. They do 16 times 4, which is going to be an answer choice. It's going to be there to confuse you, but really you had to divide to get your answer. So taking the time, the extra 60 seconds it takes to actually set it up and know that you're multiplying instead of dividing, it just makes it more to ensure that you're going to get the correct answer. Okay, so I want you to pause the video for these last two. Do them on your own. Remember, you do have this reference chart available to you, but I will actually put it up here real quick on with this pink paper. You can pause it so you can see what you need. But go ahead and write these two down real quick. Pause it if you need to, and then I'm going to put that screen, the reference chart up in 3, 2, 1. All right, so get that paused so you can write down those conversions from your problems if you need to. And I will see you back in a minute to see if you got them correct. All right, so y'all should have completed these two on your own. Let's see how you did. This one is feet and yards. So when you look at your chart, you see that 1 yard equals 3 feet. 1 yard equals 3 feet. So we are going to do 1 yard equals 3 feet. I'm going to write that ratio first, 1 to 3. The 1 was yards, the 3 was feet. And then I've got to put this 12 feet somewhere. Feet were at the bottom, so I'm going to put the 12 feet at the bottom. Put my X. I'm going to cross multiply 12 times 1, which is 12. And then we're going to divide by 3, which is 4. So 4 yards. And then on the last one, you had 12,000 pounds equal 1 ton. So if you look here, we have 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. So 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. I'm going to write that first. 1 ton, 2,000 lb. And then my 12,000 lb goes at the bottom because it was pounds. So I'm going to cross multiply those numbers. 12,000 times 1 is 12,000. And then we're going to divide by that 2,000. And I'm going to show you something we can do right here to make this really easy. So basically, if I were to write this as a fraction, which is what a fraction bar means, division. If I were to write this as a fraction, 12,000 over 2,000, I could simplify by 1,000, divide by 1,000, which is basically crossing off all those zeros. So when I'm doing this here, because this number ends in 3 zeros and this number ends in 3 zeros, they literally cancel each other out. And our problem becomes 12 divided by 2, which is 6. So it's really easy because they ended in a 0. It's the same thing as simplifying, because division is basically a fraction. That's what that bar means, is divide. So we could have just simplified those by crossing off. That was just dividing by 1,000 in the end, really. You get 12 over 2, and then 12 divided by 2 equals 6. All right. If y'all have any questions over this topic, please don't hesitate to ask. Contact me on Zoom or send me an email in Canvas. Like always, guys, make sure you subscribe, press that bell to get notifications, and I will talk to y'all soon. We have 5 days, guys. 5 days till Christmas. We can do it. Bye, guys. Talk to y'all later.